The first violation notice arrived at 6:12 a.m., bright red, aggressive font, immediate compliance required. It was taped crookedly across the mailbox of the quietest man in the neighborhood. Mr. Leonard Hayes had lived in that house for 3 years. No loud music, no guests, no political signs. His lawn trimmed with surgical precision. He waved politely, spoke rarely, paid dues early. Karen hated him. No one knew why. Maybe it was the way he never attended HOA meetings, or how he never argued, never reacted, just nodded and documented. The second notice came a week later. Improper shade of beige. According to Karen, his front door was visually disruptive. The third accused him of suspicious exterior lighting patterns. Suspicious. A retired widower with 2 rocking chairs was now a threat to property values. Karen didn't stop there. She fined him $200 for leaving his trash bin out 14 minutes past regulation time. She sent certified letters. She photographed his driveway from different angles like she was building a criminal case. At the next HOA meeting, she publicly shamed him. Some residents, she said sweetly, think the rules don't apply to them. The room turned toward Mr. Hayes. He adjusted his glasses, calm, silent, almost amused. Karen mistook that silence for weakness. What she didn't know, what no one in that room knew, was that Mr. Leonard Hayes had spent 32 years in a courtroom, and he had never once lost a case built on intimidation. Karen escalated. She sent a cease and desist over wind chimes. Wind chimes. Claimed the soft sound violated community tranquility guidelines. She even measured the decibel level from the sidewalk like she was collecting evidence for a felony trial. Then came the landscaping citation. According to Karen, Mr. Hayes' oak tree dropped excessive leaves, creating a hazardous aesthetic. Hazardous. A tree. When he calmly asked for the specific bylaw number, she smirked. Read your handbook, she snapped, or maybe retirement has slowed you down. The room went silent. That was the first mistake. The second mistake, she placed a lien warning on his home over $480 in disputed fines. A lien. On a man who hadn't missed a single payment. Neighbors whispered. Some felt bad. Most stayed quiet. No one wanted Karen's spotlight on them. But here's what Karen didn't know. Mr. Hayes wasn't ignoring her letters. He was categorizing them. Date, time, violation code, inconsistencies highlighted in yellow. He attended the next meeting, sat in the second row, same calm posture, same quiet demeanor. Karen called for a vote to pursue legal escalation. She expected compliance. Instead, Mr. Hayes stood up. Before you proceed, he said evenly, I'll need clarification on your authority under Section 8.3 and the state statute governing lien procedure. Her smile flickered. Because he didn't sound confused, he sounded prepared. And for the first time, Karen looked unsure. If you're already sensing where this is going, hit that like button, share this story and subscribe, and tell us in the comments, where are you watching from? Karen laughed, a sharp, dismissive sound. Sir, this is a homeowners meeting, not a courtroom. A few board members chuckled nervously. Mr. Hayes didn't. He reached into a slim leather folder and placed 3 documents on the front table. Not copies. Certified records. I served on the state superior bench for 18 years, he said calmly. Before that, appellate court. The room froze. Karen blinked. Someone in the back whispered, Judge? He nodded once. Retired. Not incompetent. You could hear the air shift, he continued, voice steady but precise. Your lien notice fails statutory compliance. Your fines lack due process. And selective enforcement, he paused, glancing at her directly, is a liability you may not fully understand. Karen's face drained of color, but he wasn't finished. He projected photos onto the clubhouse screen, 10 different homes with identical violations that had never received notices. Trash bins, door colors, wind chimes, selective, targeted. Then came the final blow. An audio recording. Karen's voice from a previous board discussion. He lives alone. He won't fight back. The room erupted. Gasps, murmurs. One board member stood up abruptly. Mr. Hayes closed his folder. I gave you opportunities to correct this quietly. He wasn't angry. He was surgical. And now, he added, we proceed properly. Karen's hands trembled because she had just realized she hadn't been harassing a helpless retiree. She had been building a case for him. Karen tried to recover. This is harassment, she snapped, voice cracking. You recorded a private discussion. Mr. Hayes didn't flinch. It was a public board session, he replied evenly, and your bylaws require transparency. One board member asked to see the governing documents. Another demanded a pause on all enforcement actions. Karen's authority began dissolving in real time. Then, Mr. Hayes delivered the final strike. He revealed a formal complaint already filed with the State Oversight Division for homeowners associations, complete with documentation of selective enforcement, intimidation tactics, and procedural violations. Not a threat. Filed, stamped, active. And then he added something colder. If the lien proceeds, he said, I will seek personal liability against any board member voting in favor. The silence was suffocating. Suddenly, hands that had once voted with Karen's every motion began lowering, one by one. The vote to escalate? Defeated. A motion to suspend Karen pending investigation? Passed. Just like that. The same woman who had weaponized rules to humiliate a quiet retiree was now being escorted out of the meeting she controlled. No applause, just consequences. Neighbors avoided her eyes as she gathered her papers. Mr. Hayes returned to his seat, calm, composed, untouched. He never raised his voice. He never insulted her. He simply understood the law better than the person trying to misuse it. Let this be a reminder. Power without accountability always collapses. If this story opened your eyes, like, share, and subscribe, and tell us in the comments, where are you watching from?